Okay, thank you all for coming. I'll allow some time for some people to come in. We started a little bit earlier than we expected because we actually have Virginia polls closing in 15 minutes. And we should be able to get some results from that. So, real quick, let me jump in to some of the elections. It is election night. It's an off year election in 2025, but there's some important races out there. Virginia and New Jersey, especially, have governor races. Virginia also has a lieutenant governor and attorney general race. We're going to be keeping an eye on New York to see if Andrew Cuomo can pull something out, a miracle basically against Mamdani. We're also going to be keeping an eye on local races here in Washington State, specifically dealing with Island and Snohomish County. So we've got a mayor race in Stanwood, Washington. We've got a race in Oak Harbor for city council, position 6. We've got a race for school board in Langley, which is, going to be interesting to watch. We got a ton of stuff, and there's more races too. So I will jump in a little bit to a little bit of a PowerPoint that I've built to kind of go over what it is that we are going to be discussing today. Bear with me to make sure I can do this. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to share my entire screen and hope for the best. All right, we'll do this. All right, we'll start here. So New York City, we've got a three-way race in the 5 boroughs. We've got Zoran Mamdani, who is an open democratic socialist who has been running on free everything. We're going to tax the rich and everything will be free. Freezing rent, because that'll work. Socialism works everywhere it's been tried. He's going to be trying to, what else? What else has he said? Oh, yeah. Grocery stores that are run by the government. He's going to be getting all kinds of federal funds from the federal government that he's not going to get. But anyway, that's what he's running on. Then we've got Curtis Silva. He is the Republican, but I got to tell you, he should have dropped out. My personal opinion. He has no chance. I don't even really know why I put him on here, except that he's a spoiler for this election. He just doesn't have a prayer. This is New York City. They're not about to elect a Republican mayor right now. And then we've got independent, who was a Democrat. He was a Democratic governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo, who is the only one with even a minuscule prayer to pull out this mayor race. But it's looking very heavily like Zoran Mamdani is going to be the next mayor of New York City. Now, I usually try to stay impartial in these things, but here's why that worries me so much and why that matters. Not only the socialist policies that I mentioned that just don't work. They don't. Eventually, you run out of other people's money, and all those rich people he's talking about taxing are leaving. They're just going to leave. So, but this is my bigger concern. This is a picture right here, if you look. And the man you can clearly see next to Zoran Mamdani, who's smiling very big, was one of the defendants who helped try to exonerate the blind sheik. For those of you who don't know who that was, the blind sheik was found guilty of his part in the first World Trade Center bombing in 96. I think it was 96. That 6 people died, and they attempted to try and bring the whole tower down. Now, eventually they did in 2001, but so this is the kind of people that he's friends with. I wouldn't be caught dead taking a picture with this man unless I was arresting him. So that is wildly concerning why these people think that Zoran Mamdani is going to be just great for their agenda in New York. So that's all I'll say about New York for now. We're going to cover the election and see what happens. We also have what's coming up, and the polls are closing in 11 minutes. Governor of Virginia. So Winsome Sears, who is the current lieutenant governor of Virginia, is running as the Republican against Abigail Spanberger, who is the Democrat. It is all of the polls are indicating that Abigail Spanberger is going to win this election. I have not seen a single poll that shows Winsome Sears winning this. If Winsome Sears by some luck does win this, then we can just start throwing polls away because they mean nothing. But it's looking pretty heavily like Abigail Spanberger is going to win. and that'll be a pickup for the Democrats. We also have also something we're going to keep an eye on in Virginia's lieutenant governor race. That also looks like it's going to be a Democratic pickup. And then the attorney general race. That's going to be close. The Democrat made a lot of huge mistakes, one of which was a text messaging scandal where he basically was fantasizing about killing a House Speaker and his kids, little kids. That's never good. So we think the Republican might actually hang on in Virginia for attorney general. Governor of New Jersey. This is actually a close one to watch. Now, most of the polls indicate that Mikey Sherrill is going to win, and the Democrats will retain the governorship of New Jersey. However, Jack Cattarelli is not. It's not a 1 in a million chance. He has a chance. That's a race that we're going to want to keep an eye on. And that's something that we're going to discuss as polls close. Prop 50 in California. This is a big one. Now, everybody that I've ever spoken to ever says this is going to pass. I believe them. It is. This is a map of what currently looks like for congressional districts before Prop 50. The new map after Prop 50, if you can see, all of the red in the north is gone. What they are going to do is they are going to remove 5 Republican congressional seats and make them heavily Democratic. This is in response to Texas doing something similar. Now, there is some opposition for Prop 50 and some reasonable opposition because a lot of suburban voters don't like it, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, because they're going to have a hard time connecting with their congressman who's basically just answerable to the main city that they've been shoved in so that they can give the votes to Democrats. That's the real thing against it. But California is so heavily Democratic. I don't see how this fails unless the Democrats sleep in on this, which I don't foresee happening. A couple of the local races that we're going to cover, and those aren't all the races, and there's other races that we will touch on, but these are the ones that we're going to focus on. So the local races we're going to focus on is our Oak Harbor City Council Position 6, where Sandy Peterson, good friend of mine, is running against Andy Pumley, another good friend of mine, to take what used to be, I believe, Shane Hoffmeyer's seat. And Sandy Peterson, these are the only pictures I could find, so both of you, please forgive me. But you look great. You look great in them, Andy. You look great, Sandy. Sandy Peterson is somebody that I've worked with in the past, back when I was in the ICRP. She has been very, very, she's very knowledgeable. She's very knowledgeable about the city of Oak Harbor. She's very knowledgeable about their problems. She's very outspoken, and she doesn't seem to have a problem letting people know what she thinks. So I think she'd be a fantastic addition to the Oak Harbor City Council position. As with Andy, he brings a different element, right? He's a business owner of Popsies, which I had in the background. And if you live in Oak Harbor and you have not been to Popsies, you are wrong. You got to take your kids to Popsies. It's a really fun store. And it's iconic. You know, I mean, when you think about the main strip of Oak Harbor, Popsies comes right to your mind. And then we are going to be looking at the South Whitby School Board District 5. Ann Johnson, who is current incumbent running for re-election, will be running against Gwendy Gabeline. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get Ann Johnson on this podcast. We were able to get Sandy and Andy, and we were able to get Gwendy Gabeline, but I just did not have the contact information for Ann Johnson, and I started too late. I really wish I could have gotten her on, and that's my fault. So in the future, I'm going to start putting out these requests earlier because people have schedules. And it's difficult to change your schedule to be on a podcast. And, you know, we're learning as we go. For mayor of Stanwood, we've got Sid Roberts, who is the current incumbent running for re-election. He's running against Ryan Campbell. Ryan Campbell is the Republican leader of LD10. The LD10, what do you call it? There's an LD10 group that is associated with the Snohomish County Republican Party, loosely, but it's its own entity, and he is the chair of that. And I know Ryan Campbell, and I think it's going to be an interesting race. I have no idea how any of these are going to turn out, so these are going to be exciting ones. Now, the problem with Washington State races is we don't really know who won unless it's a wipeout. We don't really know who won the night of, but we can get a pretty good indicator of what's going on, especially if they are nonpartisan, right? Because in Washington State, there's usually a Republican swell as the days lean in, because the Democrats' votes are all in. They vote early usually, and then the Republicans wait to the last minute. And so you'll see kind of a Republican swell, and it's really hard to see who won. When it's nonpartisan, anything can happen. You just don't know. But I think we should have a pretty good indicator of who won what in these three races tonight. And polls close at 8 o'clock. Speaking of which, if you have not voted yet in Washington State, particularly in Island and Snohomish County, here's some sample ballots, which you should have received in the mail. If you didn't, you need to drive to your auditor's office in the next 4 hours to get your vote in. And this is a sample ballot. None of these people are on the ballot anymore. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open your ballot. You're going to look at the candidate that you like, and you're going to want to completely fill in these squares in Island County and these oval bubbles in Snohomish County, like it shows kind of in the pictogram that you see at the top of the Snohomish County ballot. And then you're going to want to, follow the instructions and get it into your ballot box before they close at 8 p.m. tonight. So if you haven't voted, make sure you get your ballots in so your voice can be heard. Okay, so we're going to stop sharing this and just go back to normal. So we have all these elections that are coming up in 4 minutes. 4 minutes, all of the Virginia polls close, and we should have an idea of what's going to happen. Now, if you are a Republican hoping for Winsome Sears, I want you to prepare yourself for disappointment. Let me just say this. If Winsome Sears wins, Democrats should have a panic attack because that's not supposed to happen. I don't think it will. For Lieutenant Governor, it's a little bit closer. But again, I think Democrats are going to keep it. For Attorney General, that's the one to watch. I think the Republican has a real 50-50 shot to hang on. And the New Jersey is going to be a much more interesting race. New Jersey will be a lot more interesting. We're going to start with Virginia, and those polls close now in 3 minutes, and we're going to keep an eye on it. Trying to check when the New York City polls close. Oh, God. All right, so we're probably not going to cover Prop 50 tonight because apparently the polls are open until 11 p.m. 11 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, great. So that's 10, 9, 8 p.m. All right. Okay, this thing that I'm looking at on CBS, apparently they're all in New York, and forget that California's Pacific time. So, yeah, no, okay, we will be able to cover Prop 50. Let's see here. So New York City, polls are open until 9 p.m., which is 6 p.m. our time. So those close in 2 hours. And yeah, so for Virginia, polls close at 7 p.m. Virginia time, which is 4 p.m. our time, which is in 2 minutes. So that should be exciting. And then an hour later, we jump into New Jersey. And then an hour later, we jump into New York City. And then we should kind of have an idea of how things are going. And then much later, at 8 p.m. our time, here in the Pacific, we will have an idea of how Prop 50 is doing. It's widely expected to pass. If it doesn't pass, again, Dems should have a heart attack. Something went wrong, and they need to go back to the drawing board, figure out what they did this year, and never do it again. But again, none of that is anticipated. If I had to guess, it's going to be a little bit of a rough night for Republicans, which isn't unexpected. These are very blue areas, right? I mean, Virginia is probably the reddest one. And it's been voting Democrat since Obama's first term. The last time it voted Republican in a presidential race was for Bush in 2004, and it was close. So, a lot of people think these are going to be bellwethers for the midterm elections. Yeah. I don't know. If the Democrats smoke the Republicans, and I mean smoke them, it might be. But if it's close, I don't think it is. Prop 50 will be only because 5 Republican seats are just gone. they're just gone. They don't exist anymore. But so that is what we are waiting on, and polls should be closing right now in Virginia. So let me get some updates for you. Let me try and share. And I have Tim Hazlow on in the background, and I'm going to bring him in. Let's chat. Tim.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Camera's blurry, but other than that, now I can see you.
Yeah, well, so get this. I'm having to use my wife's craft room right now because my office is being remodeled, and so I didn't want to show my wife's mess, so I did the blurred background thing. So
Oh, no, I totally understand. Yeah, behind me is also a disaster. I have 5 kids. That's why I have this Parabellum green screen. And but yeah, no judgment here. So we've got the Virginia polls have just closed right now. We were just talking about, and we want to see how they look. I'm going to go ahead and update what's going on in. I'm watching like 6 different things at the same time. Let me find the one that's giving me the information first. All right, still nothing out yet for Virginia, but the polls are closed. So if you haven't voted in Virginia, I'm sorry, you don't get to vote this time because you failed to get your ballot in on time, and you are now officially a minute late, and shame on you. So, but it's not too late to vote in Washington. Yeah, but it's not too late to get your ballot in
Washington. Because in Washington, the very second the polls closed, they already announced the Democrats as winners.
Well, yeah, I mean they just look at King County and they're just like, yeah, it's over. Yeah, I mean, I don't think freaking Lincoln County and Grant County is going to pull this out for Republicans based off what Seattle just did to you. You know, I mean, Totally. Now we do have 2 Senate races here in Washington that I did not mention that I will mention as we see polls for them. I think they're going to be good races. I don't know how they'll go, but usually I don't hold my breath for the result. But let's see here. We have the polls are closed. Come on. Update. All right, nothing from CBS. Let me pull into what's a good election result page? Let's see here.
Oh gosh.
What?
Ballotpedia, they're a little behind the times by minutes, but they usually do pretty good. I got to be honest with you. I'm a Fox guy because what's that guy's name? Brett Baer. He's all over this stuff. So I think they're going to be the first ones to get anything worth listening to anyway. I mean, like right now.
Actually, for the races, I really like the, and for the races, specifically as far as getting it out, I like the New York Times page, but they're trying to make me pay money.
So exactly. Well, I'm looking at all the elections right now that are happening over there on the East Coast, and nothing is updated. It's all 0-0 across the board.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's probably as good for Republicans as it's going to get.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. I heard you mentioning that the Democrats want to look at this and say this is a referendum on what's going to happen against Trump, right? This is a referendum against Trump and what's going to happen in the midterms. Well, I kind of disagree because the 3 places where the Democrats are expected to win, they're always expected to win. So if they win, okay, fine. If it's a landslide and they win by 15 or 20 points, wow. But if they're nail biters like New Jersey was a few years ago,
right?
Like Virginia's been the last few elections. I mean, if these are nail biters, then maybe that is a referendum, but it's a referendum against the Democrats.
Yeah. Well, one thing that you also need to bring up, though, one thing that is most certainly a referendum on how the midterms are going to go is Prop 50 in California, because 5 Republican seats are just gone.
Yeah, you can't call that a referendum against Trump because this is California. We're talking 65-35, Democrat versus Republican in the major cities, in the major voting areas of California. So Texas is going to make up that difference. There's 5 or 6 red states out there that are doing it the right way. I mean, here's what California did. And I don't know how far you've dove into this Prop 50 thing, but in most states, like Washington, for instance, if we wanted to put a ballot measure like that on the ballot, we'd have to go out and get 450, 500,000 signatures. We've been doing it for years now, right? There's ballot measures out right now that we're trying to collect signatures for. In California, the legislature just put it on the ballot without any signatures. There was no community involvement. They just did it, right?
Well, there was community involvement. There was a big community push by some local people, some of which I talk to regularly. So, I mean, there is a community push in this. But you're right; it is significantly easier to put a proposition on a California ballot than it is here in Washington State.
Yeah, totally. And to think that it's going to fail is just to. I mean, it's absurd to think that ballot's going to fail in California.
It's going to pass.
It's just going to get more further left.
If it doesn't pass, something horrible happened to Democrats.
Yeah.
I think even Democrats would agree.
And if it passes just by a smidgen, it's the same thing, right? And the way the ballot measure is written, it's supposed to be a temporary redistricting. I don't know if you caught that.
I did not.
So even
we've got some comments. Oh, Stina waved at you and me, I assume. Maybe just you.
No, just me.
And she might want to join at 8:30. I'm holding you to it, Stina. I do want to talk to you about the school board race. I was actually going to give you a call. So, yeah, it was just you. Anyway, let's take a look and see what we've got for Virginia. The polls have been closed now for 7 minutes, so maybe I'm being a little bit of a rushy. Yeah, it's not a presidential election, so they take their sweet time. No updates that I'm seeing right now.
No, me neither. But we can. I mean, if you want, I got about 20 minutes to give you, maybe 25 on the outside.
30 max.
Cover a few things. Sure. If you want to cover a few things, let's
go over.
We don't got to wait for results.
Let's start with New York City. That's the one that actually terrifies me. Look, I can live. I really can. I can live with Democrats. I can. I have ever since I've lived in Washington State. I know many Democrats. Some of them are my friends. I don't agree with them on everything, for sure. But I can be friends with them. I like them. Sometimes they're right. Sometimes I'm right, and they listen to me. I cannot, for the life of me, understand why New York City is considering electing Zoran Mamdani, who is promising free everything, openly a democratic socialist, flies Palestinian flags freaking everywhere, wears the Hamas banner around his neck, freaking is friends with a guy who was a defendant for the Blind Sheik. I mean, you're old enough to remember that. In 1996 World Trade Center bombing. The Blind Sheik was arrested for the first bombing of the World Trade Center. He's friends with the guy who was part of his defense team. And we're going to elect him mayor of New York.
Hey, why? Don't say we. Don't say we. They.
Well, I mean, look, we're a team. We're a team. Okay, we suffer together.
Let's look at it this way. Let's say that Mamdani wins. It looks like he's going to, right?
Almost certainly. If Cuomo wins, I'm going to celebrate. That's the race that I'm caring about the most right now.
Which is a terrible thing in its own right. I mean,
the person I'm rooting for the most is a Democrat.
Yeah, exactly. but here's the thing with Mamdani in New York. Let's say he wins, and he goes in there and he takes over the grocery stores like he said he wants to, and he does rent control like he said he wants to, and he raised taxes like he said he wants to. There's already countless numbers of multi-million, billion-dollar businesses that have said, if he does any of this stuff, we're out of here. Texas is contemplating putting in a tax on importing people from New York, saying if your billionaire butt wants to leave New York because you guys voted for stupid policies and want to move to Texas, then we're going to tax you to move here.
Right.
The reality is New York's already in bad shape. And this is only going to make it worse. And it's going to be not only on a national scale, but an international scale that people are going to see this. And so this could be a watershed moment for the young people who don't know what socialism and communism truly is, that don't remember any real hard times, right? And so if those people see this,
look at Venezuela. Look what happened to them. They were one of the richest countries in the world. It was a beautiful place, a place to visit. They had wonderful buildings. The people were doing really well. Then what was that guy? It's not Maduro. The guy before Maduro, Hugo Chavez, takes over and becomes the communist leader of the place. Basically, usurps every election after that.
Yeah.
And
now that
those
can't
people
happen where we're at.
Well, no, probably not, because but I don't understand what the attraction is. More specifically,
the attraction is free stuff, own nothing, and be happy. That's the attraction. And so young people, they don't believe they can afford to buy a house anyway. They don't believe in the American dream because everything's been given to them for so long. It's been easy. Now you remember the old adage, hard times make hard men make good times make soft men make hard times, right?
Yep.
And so it just keeps on going. So we're in that place where these Democrat cities, and Seattle, I don't know if you realize this, but Seattle is right there. They have a Democrat socialist on the ballot in Seattle today. It's being voted on today.
To be fair, though, even that Democratic Socialist, though, I've never seen that Democratic Socialist take a picture with a known terrorist.
True. But you got to look at it this way. You got to think that these people, the socialists and the communists have taken over the Democrat Party. And this is their blitzkrieg moment. This off election year election is their blitzkrieg moment. If they can get 3 or 4 cities, and New York being the biggest city in the country, right? If they can get 3 or 4 cities,
and it is the heart. It is the capital of capitalism.
Yeah,
New York City is the capital of capitalism, and it is. You know, a lot of people, when they think of the United States capital around the world, they think of New York City. I mean, it's Washington, D.C., but they think of New York City. When you think America and you're not American, New York City comes to mind.
Yeah, I agree.
And one of the things that, I mean, it just drives me nuts. Also, Minneapolis is about to elect another Somali Islamic, also a socialist. Like, I don't get it. And another thing, Zohran Mamdani is 34 years old. He's never had a job in his life.
Oh, no, he had a job. He got his first job at age 30, and he worked for a few months. I can't remember what it was. I was just watching a little snippet on it earlier today.
Okay. Yeah. I was wrong. I was wrong. He did get a job at 30 for a few months, but I will say that his resume leaves something to be desired to handle $150 billion budget. Not to mention to lead the New York Police Department, to be in charge of all the employees that are going to work under. I just think it's a disaster. Like, I feel for New York, and you're right. I mean, they vote the way they want, they get what they want, but I don't think they understand what's about to happen.
I feel for New York as well, and I hope that there's enough sanity there to, I mean, even voting for Como is not sanity in my book. I mean, the reality is the only candidate there that's worth his salt is Sliwa, but he doesn't have a snowball's chance.
I am so mad at Sliwa. I think he's an idiot. I'll disagree with you there. I think he's a freaking idiot. He should have dropped out and endorsed Cuomo.
He might be an idiot, but he's really the only one of the three that has. He's one of the only three that really has any plans and any common sense. But you're right. I mean, the reality is he knew he wasn't going to win.
I'll tell you what. If I was in New York City,
and so the right thing would have been,
I would be actively campaigning for Cuomo. But I'm not, so I don't get a vote. And let's take a look. Now the early votes are bad. Let's see here.
Well, they always are.
Oh, wait a minute. So we've got some results coming in for Virginia. Well, I mean, they're bad if you're a Republican. If you're not a Republican, they're pretty good. Well, okay. Let's see. Oh, all right. We've got about 10,000 votes in, and they're heavily Democrat. So about 61.6% Democrat, but that's not a lot of votes. So we don't know anything yet.
Yeah.
Right now they've got it
Yeah, we got
as lean
Spanberger. I mean,
Democrat.
there's hardly any votes in.
Yeah, 10,000 votes is not a good sample size. Just not.
Nope.
So let me see here.
Well, and even Attorney General in Virginia, they have the Democrat, the guy that wants to kill everybody and murder children. They have him up 54-44 in early voting. So
that means he's on pace. Actually, no. So more numbers are coming in from another site that I'm looking at. They have the Democrat up by 90 votes for Attorney General. That's not very many.
Well,
that's
this site that I'm looking at just updated, like just now as we were talking. Hang on. And now it wants to show me an ad before it shows me what's going on.
All right. So one thing that I am noticing is,
oh, come on.
What I don't understand is why there's more votes showing up for lieutenant governor than there is for governor. Let's take a look at Virginia or attorney general. Attorney general is freaking neck and neck.
I got 42 or 52-46, 53-46 with the Democrat winning right now. Jones over, how do you pronounce it? Miyares.
Yeah.
But the reality is, here's the thing: is
it's 22,000 votes.
If all these elections come in and they're close, even if the Democrats win, but they're close, then that's a good sign for Republicans. Other than Virginia, New Jersey and New York and Minnesota, these are hardcore Democrat bastions of stupidity. And so if it's close, that's a good thing for Republicans.
Oh, you know what? I think the Republicans going to pull out the attorney general race. Let me tell you why. We don't have enough votes to look right now, but you can see Chesterfield, Virginia is a county. It is a heavily Democratic county. Okay. You can see in the lieutenant governor race, it's blue. You can see in the, that's right next to Richmond. You can see with the governor race, it's very blue. In the attorney general race, it's red. So I think if that holds, if Chesterfield goes the way of Jason, the Republican,
we'll just go Jason,
the incumbent, then this race is over for Democrats for attorney general.
Yeah. I think that Winsome should have re-ran for lieutenant governor. I don't think she was term limited. I think she should have re-ran for lieutenant governor, because then she would have won in that race. She was the incumbent. Things would have been easier for her. And then we would have had the lieutenant governor and I think the attorney general. Who would have been the governor? Who knows? Who would have actually stepped up and ran in that case? Who knows? But in this case, if they lose the governor and the lieutenant governor, then the only thing that's going to be keeping Virginia from going to the poo-poo market is going to be the attorney general.
Well, the attorney general is not going to have a whole lot of effect. Now, one thing that's going to happen, though, is Virginia is talking about redistricting as well to eliminate Republican congressional seats. Now, they already have the Senate and the House. If they win the governor and lieutenant governor, they've got the trifecta, and they can go ahead and eliminate some congressional seats, which Abigail Spanberger has already said she will support. Yeah. So it looks like we're going to have a full-on redistricting war. Now, that's not bad news for Republicans if we do, because we got a lot more seats we can steal. I don't like it. I don't like this redistricting stuff.
Well, here's the reality of it. So you do know that the Civil Rights Act and some of the other acts made redistricting happen based on racial lines.
Yes.
Constitutionally is unconstitutional. So if we were to be able to, and that's going to be heard in the Supreme Court, by the way, that they've already agreed to hear this.
No, that is a big case, and there's a strong argument that it's no longer needed.
That's right. And
immediately after the Civil War, it was
right.
So, but
so if that happens, if that happens and it says, okay, there's no more racial component to think about in this districting, then all of a sudden, all these district maps, mostly in Democrat states, not so much in Republican states, but mostly in Democrat states, all their districting was done based on racial profiling.
Actually, I think it was
California
mostly
was
the
huge.
South. I think with the civil rights, it was on the South, wasn't it?
Well, it was directed towards the South, but all the Democrat states over the years have taken advantage of it and redistricted. New York
Huh.
has, New Jersey has, California, Illinois, Minnesota, Wisconsin. There's a whole bunch of states that have said, okay, more than even in the South. The South kind of mellowed out over the years. I think Louisiana and maybe, I don't know for sure, maybe Alabama, but there's only a couple of southern states that actually still district based on racial lines.
All right. So we got 2% in. It's still not looking good for Winsome Sears, as nobody expected it was going to. Let's see here.
I got her down by 10 points right now.
Yeah.
But with
I mean,
2%
still,
in, that's not even
that's
a
not a lot.
polling sample. So,
but
and
it's not
and I got the other guy,
right?
Jones. I got Jones up by 13 points with 2% in. So that's not
I'm
good.
not seeing what you're seeing.
Yeah.
I see a much closer race between Jones and
I got 1.55% in and around 53,000 votes total counted. So still not even a polling sample, but
let's see here. All right. So, well, we're talking about a 6,000 vote spread. So I'm not going to put a fork in Winsome yet.
No, for that. Yeah. Well, it's adjusting right now, actually. Numbers are counting.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing right now is Jay Jones, 33,488. Jason, 32,616. And now it just got, there's about a 600 vote spread between them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, actually, the closest race, Jones is definitely close. Jones and Mayaris are the closest race in Virginia.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And once again, the one I really am looking at, the one I think is going to make the most difference is New Jersey. Out of all these races, if New Jersey goes Republican, that's off the charts. That's going to be such a huge indicator of what the midterms hold.
If Democrats don't sweep these things, something went wrong.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And even if they do, even if they win them all, but they're just very close, something went wrong for the Democrats.
Yes. Now let's see. Virginia, come on, update, you dumb thing. I am surprised that Jay Jones survived. I am surprised that after his messages came out threatening to kill kids, that he's not just buried. And he's actually up. He's up by not much, but a little bit. Under 1,000 votes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I got him just over 1,000, like 1,100. But yeah. I don't know. It just seems that's definitely the closest race. I mean, you look at percentages, it's 50 to 48 right now.
Yeah.
For Jones. And the other two races are both 10 points apart. 55-44 and 54-45 for governor and lieutenant governor. So
now those will change. Let me take a look. Now, one thing that Democrats should look at with some heart is they're ahead, and the very northern Virginia, I'm not seeing any results in there, and that's something they're going to win heavily. However, Southern Virginia and that little tip that touches freaking West Virginia, they haven't come in yet either. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you got to realize though, North Virginia is where the populace is, right? And that's basically the suburbs of DC. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I stayed when I was going to Intel school over there, was in Fairfax up there in North Virginia. So, and believe me, you didn't see any Trump signs in the yards.
No. No. Let's see here. And it looks like for the House races in Virginia, it looks like if you're an incumbent, you're winning.
Yeah, which is good.
Unless you're Mark Early. But that's a 50 vote spread, so that's not done yet. Let's see here. Okay, I think they've declared that Abigail Spanberger has won the election.
Did they do that already?
Yeah,
That's
I agree. Because we haven't even filled in these northern blue
Nope.
Sections. So let's see here. So that was quick.
Yeah. Well, and we're down to about 800 votes in the Jones Mayaris election. So that's good.
Well,
I mean, that's trending in the right direction.
I
don't.
But yeah, no, that's the one race where I think, come on, guys. I mean,
yeah, if the Republicans
the Attorney General,
that one.
Yeah, something went wrong in Virginia for them. I mean, It's a blue state. It is what it is. And Virginia
can't win that one. Something's wrong.
Virginia is always openly hostile, with very few exceptions, to whoever the president is. So if you've got a Republican president, you're getting a Democrat governor. If you've got a Democrat president, like with Joe Biden, you're getting a Glenn Youngkin. They just always go the opposite way. And we saw it back in 2004. George W. Bush was reelected. And everybody was pretty sure a guy named Jerry Kilgore was going to get elected governor of Virginia. And instead, a guy named Tim Kaine won, who is now a senator from Virginia. And it was just, and before that, they had a Republican governor, but Mark Warner, who is now a senator from Virginia, was elected governor of Virginia with Bush's first term. And then Obama got elected. And I think we had a Republican in there one of the times, and then one of the times it was different. But then, Trump gets elected, and it goes Democrat. Biden gets elected, and it goes to Youngkin. And then Trump gets elected. Now it looks like it's gone to Abigail Spanberger.
Yeah.
So Virginia's consistent screw the president mentality remains strong.
Well, yeah, it's Fox hasn't called it for her yet, but they're saying Fox News decision desk Spanberger has a slim lead in Virginia. I don't know. I'm seeing a little more than a slim lead.
I'm not. What are you seeing? Because I'm seeing different numbers here. She's got a 10,000 vote lead.
That's what I'm saying. I'm seeing a lot more than just a slim lead.
Yeah.
Fox is saying that she has a slim lead. I see it as a pretty significant lead with 5% in right now.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at CBS and I'm looking at 270 to win, which is notoriously not reliable. But let's see here.
Well, and the in the Virginia Attorney General race, the Republican has moved ahead now.
Has he?
So that's good. Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yep, he's up now by 3,000 votes, almost 4,000 votes. So
so Jay Jones not performing as well in AG contest. That's kind of what we expected. In 30 minutes, the New Jersey polls close, and that should be a more interesting race. That is also expected to go Democrat, but it should be closer.
Yeah, I want to see the New Jersey. That's the one I'm going to be watching. Is the New Jersey one? I already know that Mamdami's going to win in New York. I'm pretty sure.
I haven't given up.
I've given up.
I have. I know.
So sort of like I've given up on Washington State statewide elections. But get this. So the Virginia lieutenant governor race has snugged up at the 5% in.
Yeah, no, the lieutenant governor candidate for the Democrats wasn't as strong as Spanberger. He was probably the weakest candidate for the Democrats until the text messages for Jay Jones came out. Then he became kind of toxic. And I don't know if you noticed, but Spanberger quietly removed his name from her bus from her campaign
Yeah, but
literature.
she still had him on the website up until just a few days ago. I mean,
Well,
Spanberger
hey,
could have done it. Spanberger's going to win no matter what, but she could have won in a landslide if she would have denounced that guy right up front.
yeah, I could
Although
never.
even that race is tighter now than it was when we started looking at it. It's down to a 5 point uh, a five
Oh
point
yeah,
race.
no, it's going to tighten up. Spanberger's not going to win by 10 points. I
No,
think she's going to win probably by 5 or 6 or 7.
yeah, maybe
Um,
3. All right,
okay, if it's 3, that's something.
hold on. Let me see who this is. Give me a second.
Okay.
This Tim.
All right, so we are still watching the Virginia results as they pour in. Very soon, we're going to be talking about New Jersey. Now, New Jersey is going to be an interesting race. I am fairly confident the Democrat is going to win in New Jersey, but that one is not set in stone. It's not set in stone yet.
Okay, I'm back.
What was it? Was it election related or something else?
No, well, it might as well have been election related. It was my wife saying, "Can you believe Mom Dommy's going to win that stupid freaking race in New York?"
I'm with her. I'm with her.
My wife. She's a political monster, man. She has no mercy when it comes down to it.
I just don't understand it. I don't get it. What about his resume wowed everyone?
It's not his resume. It has nothing to do with his resume. It has to do. See, the problem with Democrats is it's all about feeling. It's all about feeling good. It has nothing to do with reality and truth and fact. It's all about how do you feel. I feel good about, having LGBTQ people, men going into women's bathrooms and hanging out with the little girls. I feel good about that. That's the Democrats, right?
Well,
but the facts and the reality is that's not.
I'm more concerned with what Mamdani represents for the capital of capitalism. I am more concerned about that.
You do got to look at it too. And in New York City, yes, it's known as the capital of capitalism, but that major businesses have been leaving. There's major exchanges, stock exchanges, in other big cities, Dallas, Miami, places like that, where they have these big hubs. I'm telling you right now, if Mamdani wins, which he's gonna, New York is going to be in a nosedive, a free fall, as far as the United States is concerned. And people are going to leave in droves. And the only people who are going to stay are the people who can't afford to go. Right. So what's that going to do to the tax base?
Oh,
and New York's going to fall apart.
When Mamdani says, I'm going to tax the top 2% that live here, you think they don't have the resources to leave?
Yeah. Exactly.
They don't have to go far. They'll just get out of the city and go into New York State somewhere else.
Yeah. Well, get this. I got in a debate with a guy the other day about taxation, and of course the typical left-leaning, liberal side. Oh, we need to tax the rich more. We need to tax the rich more. So I said, well, let's look at it. So we pulled it up. We just did a quick Google search of what does the top 20% of all taxpayers in the United States pay percentage-wise of taxes. And that top 20% pays 89% of all the federal income tax in the country, the top 20% of income earners. And so the other 80% pay, 11% of the total taxes? So
he was just heavily,
it
is heavily on the rich already. So, eventually you're going to run out of their money.
Oh yeah. Well, they're just going to leave those.
And the problem is, a lot of people think when you tax the rich, you're taxing these millionaires and billionaires. You're not. You're not touching them. What you're taxing is higher income earners, people who make $250,000, $300,000 a year. You aren't taxing somebody who's got $1 billion in the bank and only trades in cryptocurrency now. None of that's taxable. He only trades in stocks. None of that's taxed. So you're not getting the billionaires. So let me see here. Let's see if we have any numbers. Why doesn't, I guess because it's an off-year election, people are just not updating like they used to.
Well, there's that. I mean, here's what I got. I'm at 11.4% in Virginia. Actually, 12% in Virginia, and the governor's race is back up to 10-point separation. Jones has moved back ahead of the Republican, but by 500 votes. So that's nothing. 49-49. And in the lieutenant governor race, I've got the Hashmi, the Democrat lieutenant governor, up by roughly 5 points. So, I mean, these are going to be tight races. Once again, the governor race is going to be the biggest spread, and the other two are going to be close. I think we win. I think we end up winning the attorney general. Good shot at lieutenant governor, and good showing for Sears. Just not even a close one, but a good showing. Good job. Wait, at least you tried.
You do get a participation trophy. You did participate.
That's right. That's right.
So,
and I like the woman. Have you ever listened to her talk? I mean, she is articulate. She's smart. She's a Marine. She lifted herself up from nothingness to get where she's at right now. So I love the woman. And I think if she was in any other state, if she was in a purple state somewhere, she'd be winning in a landslide right now. But the fact is, she's in Virginia. And you can't win without North Virginia. It's just that simple.
Well, one thing that Winsome Sears didn't do is Glenn Youngkin tapped into parents. You know, people were upset at their schools. They were upset with how the schools were working, and he was striking a chord with parents, like saying, "I'm going to represent you." Winsome Sears didn't really strike anything except for Abigail Spanberger's not smart, which okay. And true. Abigail Spanberger is in support of Jay Jones, and that's the only thing that kind of stuck was the Jay Jones mess up. She didn't really tap into any of the, the voter populaces that Republicans need in order to pull stuff out in Virginia.
Yeah. I think she tried, but you're right. She just couldn't pull it off like Glenn did. But the thing that got me about Spanberger was her entire election was just anti-Trump. She had nothing else. I mean, she was asked, "What are you going to do on day one?" And she didn't have an answer on a friendly interview on CBS, right? She didn't even have an answer for that. So all she had was, we gotta resist Trump. That's her entire campaign. She doesn't really have a platform. The problem is, it's just like you said earlier, Virginia is anti whoever the president is.
Yeah.
In general.
They seem to be. Let's see here. So I am not liking what I'm seeing for the attorney general race. It looks like it just went like every other race.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're probably counting North Virginia right now.
Oh, they are. Yeah, North Virginia is being counted. So those are almost all filled in. So I expect when these southern districts get called in, you're going to see a change there.
Yeah.
So we shall see. But it hasn't been officially called by CBS or Fox or AP, but I think we can probably say that Abigail Spanberger is the next governor of Virginia.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with that. I mean, I don't have enough of the information. I don't see the metrics. There's no way I can make a call. But with that being said, I didn't think she was going to win going into Election Day. And now that I'm seeing the preliminary numbers, it's just reaffirming that it's probably not going to happen. So.
Yeah. And we are seeing that, So it's looking ugly. So for lieutenant governor, it looks like it's out too. And then for attorney general, it looks like it's very possible that Jay Jones, who fantasizes about killing little children, that's not a deal breaker for some people in Virginia.
No, apparently not.
All right.
Let's talk a little bit about closer to home, though. So what do you think is going to happen at 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock and 30 seconds? What do you think's who are they going to declare the winner of the Seattle mayoral race?
Oh, whoever whoever the most far liberal left person is. I
That's
don't even have
good.
to look at their names, and I guarantee you that's the answer.
How about what do you think of the ballot proposition of allowing the state to invest the money that they're already stealing from us for senior care? Is that going to be rejected or approved?
Oh, who knows?
That's the catch. And how fast are they going to do it? That's the thing with Washington elections is that's why everybody looks at Washington elections and thinks things are preordained, that there's corruption there, is because they call so fast. They call these races and these measures so quickly in Washington state.
Yeah. So let's see here. So, well, the attorney general race is still close, so we shall see. We shall see what happens. But John Reed is not going to be the next lieutenant governor of Virginia. Ghazala Hashmi looks like pulled it out, and Abigail Spanberger looks like she has pulled out a victory in.
Oh, I'm not calling it yet, buddy. Not for lieutenant or attorney general.
Yeah, I mean, if it was tightening and tightening and tightening, I'd agree with you, but it's not. It's staying pretty much the same.
Are you looking at the county map for Virginia?
County, and I'm also looking at
the district maps.
Yeah, and then I'm just looking at the vote count. Let's see here.
What's next to close? New Jersey. So New Jersey's the next.
New Jersey closes in 19 minutes. So we're probably going to take a momentary break because I got on early, and I will jump back on as the polls close for New Jersey. We should have more information on Virginia because I know you have to head out soon too. Let's see here. But now seeing the numbers, if I had to guess, I'd say the Democrats pulled all three. I think they probably got all three. Now, Attorney General is still a maybe, but the other two I don't think are. Yeah. She's up by over 100,000 votes.
Oh, yeah. The governor, yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening. I mean, once again, I don't have enough information to make a call, but just based on what I'm seeing, I would say she doesn't. Sears has little to no chance there. So I still see a chance for Reed and Mayaris.
Reed is down by 90-something thousand. I don't see a chance for him. And then almost exactly 50,000 for Mayaris. So Mayaris has a chance, but not a great one.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm telling you right now, if Jones, wow. If people elect Jones, I mean, I've kind of lost a lot of faith in the Democrats to begin with. I mean, back in my day when we were all Democrats back in Michigan when I was younger, before I joined the Navy and my eyes were opened. But back then, Democrats and Republicans weren't that far apart from each other back then, right? They still wanted what was best for the nation. They just had different ways of getting there. Now, Democrats really just want the nation to turn into Afghanistan.
Well, I don't think that's true. I think what they want is they just have different views on social issues. They have a different view of where it is they want the country to be morally.
Yeah. But you'll own nothing and you'll be happy.
The only one that scares me right now is the Mamdani or Mamdani, whatever his name is.
You should be afraid of the Seattle mayor candidates.
Oh, Seattle. What is she going to change? It's as far left as it can go.
That's pretty far left, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty far left. So hey, I'm going to go grab something to drink. I'm waiting for the wife to get here. We've got a date that we're going on here in a little while with some other folks. We'll probably be talking a lot about politics with these people. So if I get home at a decent time, I'll try and chime back in.
All right. So we will take let's see here. We'll take a 15-minute break, and I will jump back on and we'll start covering New Jersey. All right. Good talking to you, Tim. Okay, we are back. We took a few minutes break to kind of chill and see what's going on and wait for other polls to close. So New Jersey's race is going, or polls are going to close in about 5 minutes. We'll take a look at that election result. As for Virginia, I believe Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat, has been elected. The Democrat has also been elected to lieutenant governor for Virginia. For attorney general, the jury's still out, but it's not looking great for the Republican, believe it or not. That was the race I really thought the Republican was going to pull out. But actually, it's tightening up for attorney general. Only a 20,000 vote spread there. So we will see what happens there. But the attorney general race is the only race that's still on the radar right now. So we will see. Clark County hasn't been counted yet. That's not good for any Republican hoping to win. Neither is Halifax. Let's see here. I don't know. All right. And it looks like, yeah. What percentage is in? 29% in? Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on the attorney general race. Let's see here. We have New Jersey polls closing in 5 minutes. Let's see. So we will keep an eye on New Jersey. And I have it up now. Let's see here. The polls are showing that the Democrat has a 4.4% advantage on all the polls. But the polls are wild. They have Cheryl's lead ahead from 1% to 10%. So, gosh, anything could happen in New Jersey. If it's closer to the 1%, that's within the margin of error. So let's see here. We are keeping an eye out. Where? And I think the projection has come out just as I said it would. I don't know why they took so long. Abigail Spanberger is the winner of the governor's race in Virginia. And who was it that declared that? Let me ask my friend here. Let's see here. So we are waiting. CNN said that. So CNN projects that Abigail Spanberger has been elected the governor of Virginia. No great surprise, disappointment for some Republicans, but not a shock. There wasn't a single poll that showed Winsome Sears within striking distance. So now we know. It looks like CNN has called it. I expect Fox, CBS, and others to call it soon. Right now, I'm looking at CBS News because I like their county system. CBS just called it. CBS has just called Abigail Spanberger the winner of the governor election in Virginia. So we can move on from there. The only race worth watching is the attorney general race, but that's not looking hot for Republicans either, which shocks me. So we are getting ready to move on to New Jersey in 2 minutes. That one should be closer. The results should be the same. The Democrats should win, but that should be a closer race. So let's see here. Yeah. So for Attorney General, it looks like there's a 20,000 vote spread. And then you look at Lieutenant Governor, it's closer to 70,000. And then you look at Governor, and it's just, God, it's bad. Yeah, that's rough. Winsome Sears, thanks for playing. You lose. Let's see here. All right, we have 1 minute. 1 minute until New Jersey polls close. So we'll probably start seeing results for that real soon. So for the next minute, I'm just basically going to be talking about nothing, waiting for the 60 seconds to go by, which is awesome. 60 seconds. All right. Any second now. This is the longest. Okay, there we go. Now we are at New Jersey polls have officially closed. So if you have not voted in New Jersey, I'm sorry to tell you, you got to wait till the next election because you failed. Let's see here. See if we've got any results. I'm not seeing any results there. Let's take a look at CBS, get out of Virginia, and get into New Jersey. So, New Jersey results are none. They've already got it lean. Mickey Sherrill, or Mikey. It's Mikey Sherrill against Jack Cattarelli, which is New Jersey. It is not a Republican state, so that is why they have it as lean. Right now, 0 votes are in, so Jack's not out yet. Let's see here. Still 0 votes. We'll give it another minute. It took about 3 minutes for it to start filling in Virginia. So we'll give New Jersey a hot second. Let's see here. Let me get on Facebook. There we go. Okay, we are getting something. Let's see here. Nope, we got nothing. So we shall see what happens there. Still nothing for New Jersey. All right. Come on, guys. Okay. First votes are in. And okay, it's 60,000 votes. The Democrat is up by like 100 points. We need to wait for some more results. We've only got one county reporting. It's a heavily blue county. Okay, what we got? All right, still waiting on some decent results to come in for New Jersey. As for Attorney General, it's very close for Virginia. The Democrat is ahead, but this is not over. They are within 17,000 votes, less than 17,000 votes, with a million counted. Let's see here. That went the wrong direction for the Republican. Now it's closer to 20,000 votes. But we'll see. There's a couple of counties left. Okay, we're starting to get some votes in. Yeah, New Jersey's not looking good for the Republican either. Although they've only, let's see here, only a couple counties reporting. Not very much of them. But still, down about 70,000 votes here in New Jersey. So I expect that if that doesn't turn around real quick, the Democrats are going to pull that out too. All right, so we will take a little bit of a break here. I'll put it in the comments. I'll just say be back at 6 p.m. There we go. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. What we are going to do is we are going to end this live stream. I'm going to start another one closer to 7:30. And the reason I'm going to do that is because we aren't going to have a whole lot of going on until 7:30. And that's going to be closer to our polls here in Washington closing. And I really want to cover that. So we're going to thank you for joining us for the governor's races. It looks like Democrats are pulling them both out. And we will see what happens. So here we go. All right. Well, I will see you guys at the next stream at about 7:30.